What's up, guys? Chris Brown here at NoNonsenseKnowHow. Today working on this 1999 Mercedes E320, and I've got a brief video for you showing you just the essential information on how to replace the fuel pump in this. Pump looks like this, and it's a good idea to do a fuel filter at the same time. I'll try and plug links to everything I use in the video down below. This one's got 104,000 miles on it, and this customer self-diagnosed it, but I'll run you through just to show you what I did to verify that the pump was bad. And go ahead and set your parking brake. And then use a floor jack to get this up a little bit off the floor. And I went ahead and put a jack stand under the frame right there. Then I used a 10mm socket to remove 3 nuts from this plate right here. 1, 2, and 1 more on the back side. Right there, if you can see that. With those off, this whole thing will just drop down out of your way. And boom, there's your fuel pump. The top nut on the pump should be a good ground. And then if you come to the bottom one, this is your power. It will be a ground with the key off. But when you turn the key on, this should become hot. And since I've already put the new pump on, if you apply 12 volts to this, the pump should come on. Boom, you hear that. So that's a good pump. So to replace it, start by removing your 2 clamps. If you have factory ones, they're going to look just like that. You just take a pair of pliers or a screwdriver, grab those, twist them, and they'll pop right off. I used a pair of diagonal cutters like that to get them off. And now this step's very important. It's a good idea to have a pan under here, but the larger hose coming from the tank, you definitely want to kink this off with some hose clamp pliers or vice grips before you take this hose off, because it just comes gushing out of this. I found that the hard way. So once you have that hose off, and again, make sure to kink it, you move to the front one, take a screwdriver, push that hose off, simple enough. Then you can use a ratchet with a 7mm socket and an 8mm socket to get the top one off. They're different sizes, so you can't mix them up, and they each have a appropriately sized lock washer too. Then you can loosen this Phillips screw here to loosen the clamp. And with those hoses off, you can kind of pull this down a little bit, and the whole pump just slides right out of there. You can squeeze it out without removing the bracket. And now if you're careful, you can actually reuse these clamps, especially if you have the right pliers, but I prefer to just put some new ones on there like this. And you can see on the back one, I put a larger hose clamp on there because that's all I had available at the time. With those hoses and connections back on, let's see if this thing fires up. Turn your key once, twice to cycle the pump. And then let's see if she fires up. Boom. Fixed. If your car still doesn't start after putting a new fuel pump in it, you might have to dive a little deeper and do some diagnosing. That's not what this video was meant for. I just wanted to show you where the pump was located and give you some tips on how to replace it. If you're not getting a power at the pump or ground, you might have a wiring issue going on, chafed or frayed wire somewhere. If you get no power, you might have a blown fuel pump fuse or fuel pump relay. I'll try and see if I can find you another video to plug in down below to show you where the fuse and relay are located for this. And otherwise, I just wanted to keep this real quick and short to the point. So give it a thumbs up if it helped you out. Hugely appreciate that. Check out down below for those links to anything I used in the video. Consider checking out my channel and subscribing. And until next time, this is Chris Brown here, No Nonsense, Know How, and I'll see you next time.